day, isn't it? Today we are going to present you a short video about compost making at home. First of all, do you know what is compost and why do we need compost? Yes, compost is a recycling part of organic material which can make the soil look dark in color. The composting process involves decomposing organic material to compost, which is a good fertilizer to plants. Compost helps sandy soil to retain water and nutrients. It loosens tightly bound particles in clay and silt soil that root can spread, water could drain, and air can penetrate. Compost alters soil structure, making it less likely to erode and prevent soil spattering in plants. Do you know that composting is an important part of waste management? Since food and other compostable material make up about 20% of waste in landfills, and these materials take longer to biodegrade in the landfills. Hence, composting offers an environmentally superior alternative by using organic material for landfill, because composting reduces anaerobic methane emissions and provides economic and environmental benefits.
Is homemade compost better than the store? Well, let's admit that both of them look same. But still, the compost you make at home and you buy in the stores have some fundamental differences. Like, which is better? Store-bought compost is made in glass scale, so the composting process is carefully controlled to produce ideal conditions and makes the compost really quite fast. As the store-bought ones are processed in very high temperatures, it has a good final texture and also good in color. So we cannot completely say that the store-bought ones are useless. There are few things that we have to know. Store-bought ones have additional boosters and chemicals in them, so that they are just not compost in sacks, instead they are poisonous. So, and also the store-bought compost nutrient profile is lesser than the ones that are homemade. The additional fertilizers that we have in the compost can harm the plants and also the organisms that depend on them. When you prefer organic gardening, store-bought compost are not even an option. There you can use variety of organic matters to make compost that can give you a comprehensive nutrient profile. So it's that the homemade compost are better, less harmful and healthy.
Compost. How to make the best compost at home? Here is an easy way to compost at home. First step is to making compost is to select where you will make the compost. You can make the compost in a pile and this process takes time. The second step is locate a spot with good sunlight. Find a location around the backyard that receives a sufficient amount of sunlight. This helps to provide compost with heat that can spread up the composting process. The next step is keep the compost bin in a good place. In this, the surface where you will keep the compost bin needs to be flat and also free from any kind of natural disaster. The fourth step is add green and brown organic matters. You need mixture of organic and inorganic materials. The compost will contain all the necessary nutrients that are required by plants. Remember that the compost needs to contain the correct proportion of nitrogen, carbon, oxygen and water. To make your compost contains both nitrogen and carbon, you want to add brown and green organic matters. The next step is alternate between layers. You want to alternate between layers of both brown and green materials. Start filling the compost bin with the garden soil that well aerated and has decomposers like earthworms. The sixth step is wet the compost timely. In the composting process, if your compost looks too dry and this is an indication that the brown matters overweigh the green matters. The last step is turn the compost timely. Adding and alternating between composting materials and you are turning the compost at least once a week. Then this can help maintain moisture and conserve heat. It helps combine the composting mixture evenly.
Tips to make better compost. Composting at home can get a bad rap. Common misconceptions of home composting are that it's too complicated, it smells bad, and it's messy. These may be true if you compost the wrong way, but learning how to compost the right way is actually quite simple. Here are some tips to make better compost. Tip number 1. Combining green and brown materials. To make your own hot compost heap, wait until you have enough materials to make a pile at least 3 feet deep. You are going to want to combine your wet green items with your dry brown items. Brown materials include dried plant materials, fallen leaves, shredded tree branches, cardboard, newspaper, straw and wood shavings. These items add carbon. Green materials include kitchen scraps, coffee grounds, animal manures, and fresh plant and grass trimmings. These items add nitrogen to your compost. For best results, start building your compost pile by mixing 3 parts brown materials with 1 part green material. If your compost pile looks too wet and smells, add more brown materials or aerate or more often. If you see it looking extremely brown and dry, add green items and water to make it slightly moist. Tip number 2. Water your compost pile. Sprinkle water over the compost pile regularly so it has the consistency of a damp sponge. Don't add too much water or the microorganisms in your compost pile will become waterlogged and will drown. If this happens, your pile will be hot instead of compost. You can monitor the temperature of your compost pile with a compost thermometer to be sure the materials are properly decomposing. Or simply reach into the middle of the compost pile with your hand. Your compost pile should feel warm. Tip number 3. Stir your compost pile. During the growing season, you should provide the compost pile with oxygen by turning it once a week with a garden fork. The best time to turn the compost is when the scent of the pile feels warm or when the thermometer reads between 130 and 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Stirring the compost pile will help it cook faster and prevents materials from becoming better down and developing an odor. At this point, the brown and green layers have served their purpose, so it's okay to stir thoroughly and intermix the 2 materials. In addition to aerating regularly, chop and shred raw ingredients into smaller sizes to speed up the composting process. It's up to you to decide which composting method best fits your lifestyle. Fortunately, no matter which route you choose, composting at home is incredibly easy and environmentally friendly. Plus, it's a treat for your garden. With just a few kitchen scraps and some patience, you'll have the happiest garden on the block.
Hi everyone, now we know what compost is. But compost is not just compost. There are 4 types of it. They are compost, farmyard manure, green manure and vermicompost. Now let's read each of them individually. The first type is compost, which is the result of a compost pile. It is economical and environmentally friendly. We can make our own compost at home, otherwise we can buy it. Compost is excellent for fruits and vegetables. The next type is the farmyard manure. Farmyard manure is made up of animal waste. This is good for about any plant, but adding too much of this manure can also kill some plants. So, it is better to purchase them when needed and use only in the required amount. The third type is green manure. Do you know what green manure is? It is the process of growing green and leguminous plants and break them down into the soil. As the plants decompose, they fertilize the earth. This can help the crops like cotton, maize, wheat and grow well. Now, the fourth type is the vermicompost. Vermi means earthworms. These amazing creatures can turn your garden into a flowering wonderland. Vermicompost is good for all plant life because the earthworms encourage plant germination and improve their soil's ability to retain water. Thank you.
Benefits of compost making. Composting has many benefits, such as prevent soil erosion. Compost helps to reduce soil erosion in a number of ways, including by binding soil together, increasing infiltration, and slowing the surface flow of water. Storm water management. Compost helps control the flow of water onto and through the soil, making it an efficient tool for storm water management. And it promotes healthy plant growth. Compost is used to promote healthy plant growth and suppress plant diseases. And the main benefit is it conserves water. In addition to helping to manage storm water, compost can also conserve water due to its ability to retain and efficiently transferring water. And it reduces wastage. Waste reduction is another benefit of composting. As compost is usually made from waste, such as food waste, organic waste, and many others, this reduces the amount of waste going to landfills, and it makes a waste into a good product.